afternoon, everyone. How are you doing on this Thursday? I am going to invite our guest, Lizzie. I'm so excited. Lizzie and I are actually old friends. We went to high school together. We were roommates for a little in college, and we did a coaching program together. So we have known each other for a long time. Hi, Lizzie. I see you there. Oh, she has joined us. Perfect. All right, so I'll start by introducing us. If you don't know me, my name is Shelby Phoenix, and I am a yoga instructor, life coach, and owner of the Yoga Corner. And I help yoga teachers overcome fear and self-doubt so that they can get their yoga businesses started. And this is my friend Liz. Liz is a women's wellness coach who empowers women to befriend their bodies and approach wellness intuitively. I love Lizzie for her authenticity, her kindness, and her ability to spread joy. And today, Lizzie and I will be chatting about coaching, self-care, and cultivating a strong relationship with yourself and your body. So without further ado, I would love to welcome Lizzie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I thought my headphones would work, but thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Lizzie and I have been trying to do this for a while now, which I think kind of speaks to our topic because when one of us is sick or like having a bad mental health day, we don't question it and just cancel.
Yes, absolutely.
I love this.
Opportunity.
Okay. Yeah. I like to start these interviews by grounding with a couple of breaths. Is that okay with you, Lizzie?
I love that.
Okay. All right, settle into your chair. Feel the weight of your body. Roll your shoulders up to your ears and allow them to drop down. Empty your lungs, push all the air out. Begin to inhale through your nose, filling all the way up to the top. And then let it all go. Another slow, deep breath in through the nose, just like that. And empty. One last full, deep, grounding breath. Inhale. And exhale. And whenever you feel ready, open up your eyes. Hey, Erica.
Hey, sit down.
Lizzie, would you start by introducing yourself and your business?
Sure. Well, like you said, my name's Liz. You call me Lizzie, which I love, and my sister probably calls me Lizzie too. My business is Elizabeth G. Haven LLC, so you can call me Elizabeth as well, anybody else listening. And I'm a women's wellness coach, like in short. So I love to help women with like anything wellness. I have a background in nutrition, so I love talking like food and nutrition. I'm a big advocate for intuitive eating. So especially any women who are just like sick of dieting and looking for other ways to find wellness. That's what I love to work with. And like you said, I think a big part of what I do is just advocate for self-care and wellness based on self-love and self-compassion, which is so important because we live in this world where as women especially, it's all about like hating yourself and restricting yourself and trying to be small, and the focus moves away from health and wellness. Yeah, and really those things harm your health instead of help them. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love how you said like there's this thinking behind women's wellness where the goal is oftentimes to shrink ourselves instead of like wellness to like feel good and take up space.
Yes, exactly. Wellness rooted in like worthiness,
Yeah.
a bigger sense of self-worth and just, that love and compassion for yourself, like I said.
Yeah. And I really like your perspective on self-care. Like there's some posts that you've made on your social media that like really stick out to me.
Okay, yeah.
One is you talk about like you share a lot of healthy recipes and smoothie recipes and things like this, but you're like, put that friggin' salad dressing on your salad. Like it's okay to
Mhm.
like it's okay for it to taste good. And
Right.
the other one was about debt and like not having shame around having debt, right? Like because it helps you get to a destination sometimes. Um, I
Yes,
really
yeah.
love those. What do you notice about like kind of those messages that you put out there?
Um, I think I think a lot of like where diet culture goes wrong and a lot of people's like outlook on health is that they think that like just improving their diet is going to be like the end all be all, or just going on this diet is going to be just the like going to fix all their problems. And it's not sustainable. Like
Yeah,
food is so much more than just the nutrients that it contains. It's you can get enjoyment out of it. I mean,
right.
sometimes we go to food for emotional support. And so I guess like I think a lot of what I'm trying to say in posts like about the salad dressing and whatnot is that like it's okay to get enjoyment out of food. Like
Right.
sometimes you sometimes we forget that and it's like it's all about making sure you get in all your veggies and like
Right.
whatever, which is great. Like awesome. I totally support people getting more veggies, but don't forget, you don't need to feel guilty if you want to have a burger or if you want to go eat that chocolate chip cookie. Like, that's a healthy relationship with food. So,
Right.
I think that's a big piece of it. And also, like, if you're stressing about all that stuff, then that's going to be detrimental to your
Right.
health. So, you have to think about all of it, like, holistically. And I think the other piece of it is like radical acceptance and
Yeah.
just like you can't change anything if you don't first like just radically accept yourself and the situation that you're in.
Right.
Um, so yeah.
Um, and just like backtrack a little bit, and I know like my page is a coaching page and you're a coach. We're both coaches,
Hmm.
but I think a lot of people don't know what that even means. And you made another post I read recently. I read it on Facebook, and you defined like yourself as a coach and what it kind of
Mm.
means to you personally. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, yeah. So basically, what I said in that post is that a lot of health coaches they go to like health coaching school, which I totally support. These programs are usually great. They give you a lot of information about nutrition and whatnot. Um, but they basically come out of it like a health consultant is what I call it because they
Right.
can consult with you on health. So they're going to give you great advice on, how to improve your diet. Like they're going to be able to help you like, maybe get to put together like a workout regimen, whatever it is. Um, so they can answer your questions, give you advice. And so like I have a background in nutrition too. I can do that as well. But what I consider to be like the most valuable part of what I do is the coaching piece.
Yeah.
And coaching is different because you don't go to a coach. It's funny because you can't, I say that and like all kinds of people call themselves coaches, but
Right.
what they really are doing mostly is consulting, meaning they're giving you advice and they're like educating you on something. But a
Right.
coach should really be like sitting back and doing mostly listening, like
Right.
80% listening and reflecting things back to you and asking you questions. So
Right.
I used in that post the example of a like a sports coach, like a
Right.
professional sports coach. Like I don't know anything about sports, but I know that like the Pats coach isn't out there telling the
Right.
football players how to play football.
Right.
They know how to play football. So like people that might come to work with me like probably know like about basic nutrition. And again, if they don't, like, we can go through that stuff. But the value that I provide is being able to sit with them and explore different parts of their lives, different sources of stress, ask them questions that really like get to the root of their problems.
Right.
And also just like discover more about themselves. I think like so much of the benefit of coaching is like really learning about yourself, discovering different things about who you are, what you like, what your thought patterns are, you know, what your, we have so many like beliefs that we're not even aware of. We have lots of needs that we aren't even aware of. So coaching can kind of help you bring awareness to that. And then once you have awareness of it, like we'll just work together on, you know, where to go from there. But honestly, like that's the biggest step most of the time, awareness, which I'm sure you know.
It's so powerful because you think like, well, I already said that out loud, but to hear someone say it back to you brings so much clarity to whatever whether it's business coaching or nutrition coaching or whatever type of coaching. It's like hearing it back suddenly puts puzzle pieces together somehow.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes like just saying that one thing, like, oh, it sounds like, you know, a value of yours is loyalty, for example. And then you're like, oh, yeah, it is. And like, and then to think about how all of that is playing out in your life right now.
Right.
It's like mind blown.
And I always like to make like the distinction between coaching and therapy too, because when we describe it, people can get confused, and just the idea that like therapy is looking backwards and like backtracking and coming into the present, where coaching is more starting in the present and making goals for the future. Right.
Yeah. I that's a great way to describe it. I also think of it like therapy is often like recovery, and coaching is more about discovery. With that said, like sometimes going into your past and like thinking about like, it's not like you're not going to go into a coaching session and not talk about like who you were before and what you did, but that's not the focus of it. It's present and future.
Right. Can you share a little bit about your wellness journey and how you came to be a wellness coach?
Yeah. Sure. It's kind of like a long journey. It's been a long, like, go over here, go over there, come back here thing. Oh my gosh. So I got really interested in wellness in general because I did martial arts in high school, and it was like really intense. You did too. But I took it so seriously. I loved it. And so like I had just started to like learn about like how to fuel my body for karate, right? And I was starting to like get more interested in that. And then I think I don't know what else, but probably like other things sparked it at the time. Oh, that's what I was going to say is I also struggled with like a lot of mental health things when I was younger. So anxiety and depression. And so I learned a lot about like how my eating and my like working out and like all that stuff, my health, basically my physical health, was impacting my mental health.
Yes.
And that just like really intrigued me. Yes. So anyway, I ended up not going to school for nutrition when I went to college. I like loved nutrition. You went to the same high school as me. I didn't have a lot of confidence in like my science knowledge, because our science classes were like, just, you know, I don't want to rag on the school because I love my high school, but I just felt lacking in my science education. So I didn't have confidence. But as soon as I graduated and I was like out doing like techie things, I just was like really finding that like longing for nutrition. My like love for nutrition just kept getting like larger and larger. I'd gotten into running, and so again I was like so interested in how like food could fuel my running, and improve my performance and all that stuff. So I ended up going back to school for nutrition. I wanted to be a registered dietitian, so I found a great program, a dietetics program. It was awesome. I went to Simmons, spent so much friggin' money.
Right.
Oh my God. But in the end, I got to it, and it just didn't feel right to continue to go on to be a registered dietitian. And at the time, I really couldn't tell you why. I didn't want to spend the money on an internship. So the thing is to become a dietitian, you have to go through the educational piece, which I did. And then after that, you need to get an internship. It's like a year-long internship. You have to pay for it.
Isn't that wild?
You have to pay for it. It's full-time. They don't pay you. And I was like, okay, I'm already like $150,000 in debt. Like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. And I had been working at this like nutritional like tech company, and I had been doing like mostly like tech stuff there. And I'm like, okay, I can make some money doing this. So I like kept going with the techie stuff, still doing it now. But I kind of like pivoted. I'm doing more like coaching of tech teams now. And so that's been really fulfilling. But I'm like, I still at the time knew that I was going to have to go back to this like nutrition thing, but I didn't have the money, and I didn't really like, something just didn't feel right. Now, today, I can firmly say it was because I didn't want to go into a hospital like lots of dietitians do, or even outpatient, and just like hand people like instructions, like this is what you need to eat. Like it just didn't, I was like very unsatisfied with that idea. So I found coaching. I didn't go looking for it. I do coaching in my day job. So like, I just happened to learn that there are these things called life coaches and whatnot. And I just fell in love with it. And now I see that like, this was the missing piece. This is the missing piece. And like, I want to say like, I do not like rat on like nutritionists or health coaches that do just like hand over health advice. And like, I have received so much great advice from nutritionists and whatnot, but I could tell like that was not for me. So I'm just like so fortunate that I finally in this roundabout way found exactly what I want to be doing.
There's so many things I want to point out in what you just shared. One, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't your first degree in like math?
Yes. Yes, I went to school for math.
That's just funny to me because one of the things that I remember a lot, like I have so many memories of us from high school, but you tutored me in like math, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. I still love math, but like I don't want to do
anything with it. On the math team, but I am terrible at math. And it's funny because you're like, I wasn't really confident in my science skills, and for me, I think of like so like in line. So I just think that's really funny.
Yes.
Two, one thing, and I have this conversation all the time, is the transformation that happens when you figure out that your mental health and your physical health are the same, or like they're connected.
Yes.
It's like, what, like, I don't know if it's like something that's like more people are talking about, or because I'm aware of it, I like see the connections, but I just feel like it's like, I think it comes up in every one of these chats that I've done, is like mind-body connection and how important that is.
Yes. I'm thinking like you were talking about like my own wellness journey, and I feel like a huge piece that I missed in that whole story was that while I was going to school to become a dietitian, I was like really, really deep in disordered eating. Like I think I would have been diagnosed with an eating disorder. I was running like all the time, which is actually a form of binging. It's
Right.
binging by, not binging, purging like
Right.
by form of exercise. And I was like, it's not that there's anything wrong with running, but I was like obsessive about it. And I
Right.
became obsessed with my health in such an unhealthy way. But like again, so like that's been another part of my journey. Like I'm past that now. But it started off like amazing, right? Like I just said, I figured out that like the connection between my mental health and my physical health when I was in high school. I got so passionate about that. And then I got like clouded and couldn't see that like I'd taken it so far
Right.
that I was actually doing harm. So a lot of my wellness journey has just been kind of coming back, like finding that like gentle nutrition piece while
Right.
also realizing that, you know, you can get crazy obsessive about these things.
Right.
And it's like totally acceptable. Like nobody thought I had a problem because
Right.
they were
And
just
they're
like,
like,
wow,
oh
she's
wow,
so
you're like so
healthy.
motivated.
Exactly. But it was ruling my life. It was
Right.
awful. I was anxious about what I was going to eat all the time, about what other people were eating.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, I mean, it's funny like how that's just like completely morphed for me into something different now.
Right.
And yeah. And then and I'm kind of going through this new transformation now where like um after all of that, like I really saw myself as like the caretaker of my body, where I was like, okay, I really need to, and even through that, like I need to be the one that's taking care of my body. And now I sort of see it as like a more of a partnership where my
Yeah.
body and I are together, like we are doing this together. My mind, my body, like they're all one. And this body that I'm in is like got incredible wisdom to share with me. And it's always communicating it to
Yeah.
you. Hunger, it's like I'm hungry. The stomach's gonna gurgle. Like, it's so cool.
So this leads me to my other point about what you were sharing is like how you came to find coaching, right?
Yeah.
So when I started my business, I was just teaching yoga and I was like, this is good, but I'm like not sure what's missing and I couldn't put a title to what I wanted to do
Yes.
until you shared a Instagram contest and I entered and ended up getting like a free consultation with an intuitive life coach and that like opened up a bag of worms for me because I was like, oh, this is it. Like I get it. Okay, this is coaching. And then I went to coach training and then like now we're here chatting about it. So
I love that.
but what I wanted to say is like when I think of my intuition, right? Or like I think of like I think some people and this is true in a way, like depending on which rabbit hole you go down to, like I don't necessarily think intuition like I can foresee the future or like I'm a magical
Right.
whatever, but like my body is sending me messages, whether that's hunger, whether that's like you've pushed it too far, like slow down, like ooh that person feels
Mm-hmm.
weird, or like I need to go in that direct, like I can't be a dietitian, I need to go in a whatever. But if you're not connecting, making the connection, you can't have that partnership, right?
Yes. Yes. Right. You can't distinguish it. Your body's like telling you something's wrong, but you're like, I'm just anxious, like, because you're always anxious. Yes. That's so important. Um, yeah, I can't believe that that's how you got into coaching. I
Isn't
love
that so funny?
it. So important.
So I'm wondering if someone else is listening to this and they're thinking like they're resonating with some of the stuff you're saying and they're wondering, how can I begin the journey of creating a partnership with myself and my body? What advice or direction would you point them in to get started?
Mm. I think like first question is how do you make the distinction between who you are and your body
Right.
is what you want to ponder. It's also like I think a little bit overwhelming when we talk about self-love and body acceptance and like
Yeah.
just loving your body. If you are coming from a place where you have like, you know, you just really resent your body and you hate your body, like I have been there, so I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's not gonna like happen in a flash. But yeah, I think the first step is to really like try to think about how you make that distinction. Like, are you your body? How is your body different than who you are? Who are you outside of your body?
Right.
Is so important. But again, maybe the goal isn't necessarily like to go and love yourself.
Right.
Maybe it's to, you know, like, so what could be like a little step for you? Can you like think of one way that you appreciate your body today?
Right.
Can you just come to not even like forget loving it? What about just like accepting it the way it is? Like just
Right.
neutral, like, oh, this is my arm, this is my belly. Oh, okay.
Right.
Like you don't have to think it's good or bad or whatever.
Right.
To just, you know, the truth is that this is your body here today, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So accepting that. Yeah, so I mean, I would recommend thinking about those sorts of things. Again, like what your goal should be. Body neutrality is like a great way to start, and you could just stay there forever.
I love
just
that
be neutral.
idea of body neutrality. And although I don't think that's the language most people use, I feel like, at least in my experiences, like yoga has taught me that. Or like meditation, right? Like say you're in down dog or something, like you're not saying, you know, what story are you telling yourself about your body? Like I notice my shoulders are tired, or like, you know,
Right.
this is challenging for me. That's not good or bad or the other. It's just how
Right.
I am in my body right now. And
Yeah.
like tomorrow, I might not even be able to do anything but lie down, and like, and that's okay. But that's just like my body today. And next day, I might be able to like hold plank for like 5 minutes, but that's not good or bad. Like just
Right.
noticing on purpose what's
Yep.
going on.
Yeah, exactly. Noticing your body without judgment, noticing yourself without judgment. I think that what you're describing is being a compassionate witness.
Right.
So not identifying with that body, but being a compassionate witness of it. And again, like that, if you can be that for yourself, great. I think another benefit of coaching is to have that person be the compassionate witness for you and help you kind of get there. But I mean, we're all going to have those times where we like, that's a struggle to be the compassionate witness for ourselves. And so,
Right.
yeah, that's why coaching is great. Yeah, I love it. You said that so well, perfectly described.
I'm wondering because you have like some fun groups and other things you're offering. Would you like to share about any of those things on this platform today?
Sure. Okay, so I've been doing a lot in my community. I'm in Dover, New Hampshire, and I've got a walking group of all women who walk every Monday, unless it rains, then we usually reschedule. Yeah, there's two groups. Right now we're walking at 4:30 and 5:30. Might get to be too dark for the 5:30, or I'll have to change that one up. But yeah, that's been really fantastic. That one's totally free. It's been really great. Like lots of women have been able to, we usually walk about 2 miles together. And in the beginning, you know, the first couple times, like some women were just getting into walking again, and, you know, they were struggling a little bit. And now like they are just cruising on these 2 miles, and I'm so proud of them.
I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we have just such a good community. Like everybody is really welcoming. We have new people all the time, but there's like a core group of people that keep coming back and keep getting to know each other. So it's just, yeah, it's become really great. So I've got a Facebook group for that. I mean, again, it's all free. So like anyone that's listening and wants to join can send me a message or whatever. I'll help you sign up. And then, yeah, you just show up. You can join the Facebook group and I send like reminders in there. Or if you want to find like a buddy on a day that isn't a Monday, you can post in there. And then a couple of other things I'm doing. For a while now, I've been doing the, what am I calling it? Women's Wellness Group. And that's, again, here in Dover at Integrated Massage and Wellness. And I change the topic every month. This topic, it's play. So we're going to play and talk about the importance of play. But it's pretty casual. Like I usually will come with some discussion questions, usually like some reflection questions. So I'll give people some time to like reflect on the questions and then we'll sort of share and discuss as a group. But a lot of it's about connection, like in networking, you know, finding friends, sharing experiences with each other. So you can come, you can kind of like learn about, you know, yourself and share your own experiences, get support. You can support other people. Hopefully you'll learn something. I'm not like out there sharing like tons of like facts for people to like, it's not like going to school, but I think my goal is that people are learning something about themselves and then by discussing it with other people, they're like hearing different perspectives and learning from those other people too. Yeah, so right now that's on Tuesdays, again, once a month. And it's at night, like 6:45 or something. So hopefully that's enough time for people to have dinner and then head over. And then the new one that I've got is a nutritious recipe club.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. We'll see who signs up. Oh, by the way, that one's $10 and this one is $10 too. Basically just like to help us out with the room, like, you know, to have the space basically. And yeah, so basically this one's kind of this same idea where like every month it's a little bit different. This upcoming month, the ingredient is frozen vegetables. So
that's so much fun. I think I'm stopped.
I know, exactly. It is like that, yes. So yeah, you just like create your own recipe, or you know, you find a recipe that's that uses frozen veggies, create a dish, and then bring it to share with the group. And so the idea is
that's so much fun.
You get to try it all, yes. And then everybody leaves with different recipes that they can try. And again, it's like you can go and you can just make friends and eat, you know. I'll always obviously like share some nutrition information, but the purpose is really so that it's easier for people to like find new recipes that are nutritious and try something different at home, maybe learn a little bit of something. Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. I picked frozen veggies because like crap is expensive right now. Everything's so expensive. So I thought like what a good challenge it would be if you don't usually cook with frozen vegetables. They're less expensive to go out and do this. But
I already know what I would make.
Oh, what would you make?
Well, I've been making my own ramen. Well, I haven't been making the noodles, but I've been making my own ramen soup.
Oh.
And you know the like cups of ramen have the dehydrated like corn and peas and whatever. So I just frozen ones, pop them in there, super yummy.
That would be great to like share with people too. Like that's an easy one.
Right.
I love it. People go like quick, easy recipe.
It's nearly as easy as microwaving the cup, but with like 1/10 of the salt.
Yes. Oh, I love when people do that. You're vegan, but you can always add right? You're vegan, aren't you?
Yeah. I use like soy sauce and miso and rice vinegar.
Ooh.
And like like chicken stock. Not chicken stock, vegetable stock.
Vegetable stock. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there's so many ways you can doctor that up. Add an egg, add tofu, like,
Tofu, yep.
yeah.
And they make these ramen noodles out of tofu that they sell at Hannaford's, which I know there's one in Dover.
I love that. I've never seen that. Is that the, like, in the refrigerated section or something?
It's in the vegetable section where they keep the tofu and like the vegan hot dogs and all that kind of crap.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll check it out.
Lizzie, I love you, and I'm so glad we got to catch up, and I really appreciate you joining me on Yoga Corner Chats.
Thank you so much for having me.
And let's go into the real world and get coffee sometime soon.
I would love that. Love, love, love it. Thank you so much for doing this. This was so fun.
Aw, all right. I'll send you a text and we'll make a plan.
Yes. I would love it.
We'll chat soon.